คุณผู้ชมคะการใช้ชีวิตแบบไร้ข้อจำกัดเกิดขึ้นในหลายๆกรณีหนึ่งในนั้นก็คือชีวิตของคุณเลนามาเรียแวนเดเลสนะคะซึ่งเป็นผู้หญิงที่เกิดมาไร้แขนทั้งสองข้างมีขาข้างเดียวขณะที่ขาซ้ายมีเพียงครึ่งเดียวแต่พิสูจน์ให้เห็นแล้วว่าทำอะไรได้หลายๆอย่างค่ะไม่ว่าจะเป็นนักว่ายน้ำนักร้องนักเขียนและศิลปินด้วยนะคะคุณเลนาเดินทางมาที่ประเทศไทยพร้อมกับสามีคุณแพทริกแวนเดเลสค่ะวันนี้ตอบโจทย์ดิฉันมีแขกรับเชิญทั้งสองท่านนี้แหละค่ะเพื่อที่จะมาพูดคุยถึงความสามารถและการก้าวเดินตามความฝันโดยไร้ข้อจำกัดค่ะ Hello, thank you very much for joining me for both of you. Has it become your ritual that whenever you travel for concert, you will add it with your speaking motivational speech for your listener as well?I
have a hard time just singing. I talk too much, I think. So I love to say something to explain why I sing a song or what's the message in a song that I want to give and so on. I think it's nice to talk between the songs on a concert because it creates a good connection with the audience and.It's so much more fun than just sing song after another.
Your life story is really wonderful from the physical limit that we learn from your birth, but you never set it as limit. How would you overcome all those physical limitation and have become like swimmer, painter, singer?
I think it has a lot to do with how my parents.treated me when I grew up. They let me on my own find my own limitations because there are many things I cannot do, but there are also things that I can do, and they let me try and let me find my own ways in life, and they let me dream about my life, and they always stood by me whatever I wanted to try. And then it was many things I tried that I couldn't do.But then I could find that out myself. So they never stopped me from trying. I think that's what made me, the handicap or my disability has for me not been anything negative. On the opposite, it's been a help for me to be able to do things that I don't think I would have done otherwise.
So you see that your parents' treatment of you is really crucial for your early development?
I think so, because I always felt loved, and I always felt like I was special, just like my brother was special or my neighbors were special, but I was treated in a way that I felt loved and special, and I really wanted to do something good of my life because my parents believed in me, and so that was a big reason.
Looking back, when did you realize that your body?is handicapped, like disabled person?
I don't know. Everyone asks me this question, but when did you realize that your body looked like yours? No one really discovers it. I don't think so anyway, but I think I've always been aware of this is me and this is how I look like, and this is, I mean, like everyone has their body and their look, and I guess that's also because of how my parents always treated both me and my brother like for them we were the best thing they had, and they loved us the way we were, so it wasn't a big deal in a way that I didn't have any arms. So I didn't wake up one day and realize that I was different. I think I've always known. In some
You
way.
were the eldest child of the family, and there was no message of comparison between you and your brother at all from your parents.
In a way it was, because my brother could do things earlier than I could. But for them it was, I think, more of a help to see how a normal child developed. And then they could kind of compare how they could raise me. And so everything my brother was allowed to try out, I was allowed to try out. Everything he mustn't do, I mustn't do either. So in a way they treated us very equal. But between me and my brother, it has never been any kind of competition or envy or so. We always had a very good relation.
You were a swimmer, athlete, and you won many competitions. How or when did you discover your talent in swimming? Or do you put your mind that you really have to be good in swimming?
No, actually I wasn't interested in becoming good. But I started very early. My mom and dad, they took, our whole family went to, my mom and dad had friends in the town where I grew up, and they also had a boy that was handicapped, and they gathered families with where some child had a handicap. So we were many families, and all siblings were together, not only the handicapped, but the whole family spent time with each other. And we played in the water, and I started already as 3 years old. My brother was 2 years old. And then we were in the water, and we learned how to swim. So first I learned how to float on my back, and then I was 5 maybe when I could do that. And then I learned to swim when I was 6. And then I did that for like once a week. And the most fun with those evenings were actually when we went home, because then we got a chocolate.
Yeah, you got reward.
Yeah. So, and then when I was about 11, 12 something, I started to doing the springboard, you know, when you jump and dive and do things from the springboard. I did that for maybe 3 semesters. And then I didn't do, and then I quit everything. And then after half a year or so, the handicapped sport group started in my town. So then they asked me if I wanted to swim. So I said, okay. And I went there, and then I swam with them. And then suddenly one day our trainer, he said that it was a guy and me, we had a good time to go to a competition in Stockholm, in the capital. And that was the only thing I heard, like Stockholm, oh, I want to see Stockholm. So we went there, and then I realized that it was the Swedish games that we actually were at. So, and I took 1 gold and 3 silver medal, and then the Swedish team, the trainers and the responsible people, they saw me and they wanted me in the Swedish team. So from one day to another, I was like a competing athlete. So I had to change everything, you know, diet and my time. I was training once a week, and now I had to train like 5 or 6 times a week, and it became a completely different life. So then I was in the Swedish team for 2.5 years, and swimming and traveling around the world.
Wow.
But then I was so sick of it, so then I quit.
Yeah, after you have won so many medals, it's time to quit.
Yeah, but 2.5 years is kind of a short time, but it was enough for me.
What do you find very special from Lena? Her character, her conviction, her passion. What do you like most? Or what do you find special about Lena?
Everything, her smile and compassion for everything she does, and so yeah.
And this day you must have been traveling together.
Yes.
Do you have to help her in daily life or in commuting, in anything?
Yeah, when she doesn't have her assistant, I be her help and help her with everything. And when I have the opportunity to go along, I do, and help her with the travels.
When you're 15, get in love, it's special. You realize that life is not so long, so you really want to take care of every day.
Yes. How do you find the phase of life is different for you? Because in the early childhood, you have discovered that your body is different from others, but you have your own passion, your conviction, and you can do everything like normal people do.
Yeah, I could do everything up till maybe 10 years ago. Then my body started to hurt too much. So then I was either going to quit traveling as a singer or try to see if I could get personal assistance. So I applied for the government in Sweden, and so now I have several people that comes to my house every morning and help me the whole day. And then when we go on a trip like this, I usually have an assistant with me. But when my husband can come with me now, that's of course what I enjoy the most. But when you're studying or when you're working or when you're away, then there's another person who kind of helps me. And it's been a big change from being able to do everything, and then suddenly the body doesn't help you anymore. So I guess older people can really understand what I go through.
Do you find it's even more difficult nowadays in terms of the body, the movement?
The body gets older, and the body cannot. It gets worn out, the neck and the hip and the knee and the foot and everything. So my advisors in the hospital, they said 10 years ago, if you can allow people to help you now, you will be able to do what you can do in 25 years. But if you want to do everything yourself, you're going to last maybe 5 more years. Then your body is worn out. So I listened to them, and then I got assistants who can help me. So I'm very happy for that. But there's so much I want to do, so it's not always easy.
And in that capacity, Patrick has to help you as well.
Yes.
Do you consider him as your assistant?
I never actually thought that I would meet a man who would find that convenient, but you do.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. It's really it works very well, very well.
And for you, do you have to adapt a lot in your daily life, physically, mentally?
In a way, yes. Most of the time it's hard to not help her too much. That's the hardest thing to adapt from the beginning, to not help so much. You want to help all the time.
And I get crazy. Stop!
You don't want him to help too much?
No, I don't want anyone to help me if I didn't have to, but I have to allow people to help me too, in order to function. So, but I think by now you know how much help I need and what I want help with and what I don't want help with.
Absolutely, it's more comfortable now as well. When you know what you should do and what you shouldn't, and so on. So, yes.
Yeah. Your story is very inspiring. You're also a painter, and you are also a writer. You write a book, Footnotes, Dare to Dreams. What's the main message coming out from your books?
That's 22 years ago, and I wrote 2 books after that, but they haven't been published here in Thailand. But my latest book I hope to have published here, and but the reason that I want to write my books is because I think that every person have so many possibilities, but more often we just see what we cannot do, and we complain about the things we don't have, or we see what we put our focus on the things we don't like, or we complain, and we kind of not cherish what we have. But so in my books I want to talk about how precious we are and how much possibilities each one of us have if we want to, and we can really do things, good things with our lives.
When you find any difficulty in your life, how do you cope for yourself?
I think curiosity and enjoying doing things is what kind of brings me forward. I don't really see obstacles as obstacles, I think. If they're too hard, I don't do them. But if it's something I really want to do, then I just do it. And I don't think if it's hard or not, I just try to get it if it's possible. And I think it's the same with anything I've done. And since I work with creative things like painting and singing and creating, the hardest thing is the start, to have the idea. But once I know what I want to do and once I know where I'm heading, then it's just to do it. You know, sometimes it's really hard work, but the important should be that it's enjoyable. That I think, because I think if we do what we really enjoy, then we become good at it.
So you just see straight to the end, from the beginning to the end.
Of course, there's been problems and obstacles and hardships and hard work and tears and sorrow, and of course, but the motivation for doing things is that I see something that I really want to do and that I find meaningful, and then I just do it. And sometimes it works out, and sometimes it becomes a good result. Sometimes it doesn't work, and then I just have to put it aside and do something else.
You told me from the very beginning that you tend to speak too much when
Yep.
you see audience. What's the detail that you like to speak, or what do you like to share with audience?
I think we
normally?
all have personalities. Like when we are born, we don't choose anything. We don't choose how our bodies look like. We don't choose what parents we have. We don't choose what country we are born. We don't choose our talents. We don't choose our personality. And my personality, I guess, is very curious, and most of the time I'm happy, and I like to talk, and especially to meet people and talk with people. I do like to be alone too, but it's, I guess it's part of my personality.
Normally,
Does she sing for you in daily life, in the family?
no,
At home?
not at home.
Yes.
Sometimes I do. Yes. No, it's it's on the concerts or when you rehearse, so I can hear you sing at home, but not in that way.
No, no.
So it would be great for Thai audience for this program to listen to your music.
Sure.
Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you
and
very
thank
much.
you for coming to Thailand to share your story
Thank you
of
so much for
life
having me.
with no limit. So you sing for us.
Yes, ขอบคุณค่ะ
เป็นแนวทางการใช้ชีวิตมุมมองทัศนคติในเชิงบวกนะคะ จากคุณเลนามาเรีย และสามีค่ะ คุณแพทริกแวนเดเลสในการใช้ชีวิตคู่ร่วมกัน และการดำเนินชีวิตโดยที่ไม่ไปเปรียบเทียบกับคนอื่น เห็นความหวัง และไม่ได้มองว่าตัวเองแตกต่างจากคนอื่นนะคะ แล้ววันนี้คุณมาเรียมีบทเพลงมาฝากค่ะ ทั้งหมดคือตอบโจทย์และที่นี่ไทย PBS สำหรับคืนนี้ดิฉันณัฐฐา โกมลวาทิน ราตรีสวัสดิ์ค่ะ
I'm so happy, happy. I'm so happy you came my way. I am so happy because I am free. You took all my sin, put your love inside me. Every moment, every day, I'm so happy you came my way. I am so happy because I am free. You took all my sin, put your love inside me. Every moment, every day, I'm so happy you came